Alright, so let's get straight into this. Truth be told, when I made my last video here, when me and Amber were walking around the block, I hadn't fully watched Steven's last video. Now I'm less heated about it. I've taken more time to do other shit and eat. Hi, Puss. What are you up to? I've had more time to sit back, relax, think a bit. And let's go over some things that he brought up. Near the end of his last video, beside the I'm going home shit, him running away like a pussy because he knows he's failed. So yeah, let's get straight to it. Frankly, the fact that he says we're gonna get burned by taking him down, and the fact that he says that he's told nothing but the truth, he's been doing nothing but lying his entire life, and he has not told anything, like, truthful in this either. He has been blatantly hiding details. For example, all the fucked up, brutal shit that he said to Amber and did to Amber. And while I do appreciate you actually admitting to it and actually well, I doubt you're actually going to admit to it in court, but shit, prove me wrong. If you actually take the punishment, I can admire that. However, that still doesn't change the fact that you're trying to put blame on us for your own actions. For one example, you're trying to say that it's our fault that you got access to a weapon. Like, excuse me? It should be your own common sense not to be stealing a weapon as a convicted felon in the first place. That is not on us, and you should have known better. As a, 26-year-old, 25, 26-year-old man, you should have definitely known better. You should have known that you should not be doing this fucked up bullshit, and that is completely on you. You can't blame other people for your own actions just because, oh, you left a gun for my reach. Yeah, that's not on us because you went to go steal it. We're not, you're not a child, Steven. If, per se, if I were to take her gun and go, kill people, she's at fault. She's at complete fault for that. Because I am a minor. That's not, if, you are acting as if that's our fault and her fault for leaving it. However, they weren't just out in the open. They were in a drawer. You went over to that drawer, took the gun, and, you're acting as if you're a child, Steven, which, let's be honest, you are a child, you're a man-child. However, you are not acting like an actual adult. You're saying as if, mom's responsible for you, and responsible for what you do. Meanwhile, you literally went into the house while she wasn't home, took her gun, and then are now blaming her for the fact that you stole her gun. You're not a minor, Steven. That's not her fault because you managed to go in there and steal her gun. That is definitely not on her. You're a 25, 26... Fuck, I'm not even sure how old you are, but you're old enough to know for a fact that anything you do, anything you say or do can be used against you in the court of law. Meaning, yeah, sure, you could have easily, Dude. I cannot believe your immaturity, dude. Trying to blame Mom because you stole a weapon of hers, that is... On the bright side, I mean, shit, you admitted to it, so... Makes it easier for us, I guess. Thank you. Keep talking. But yeah, no, running isn't gonna make it any easier for you, and turning off your comments isn't gonna make it easier for you, and in fact, it's only made it worse thus far. I would also like to note, Zach hasn't even gotten involved, and he caught a stray at the end of that video. He's hardly even been involved in this whole thing. He's been sitting back and enjoying the show. So, he ain't deserve that. He ain't deserve that stray. You can continue to call us cultists all you want, but, Let's be honest, the only person in this family that's even really been remotely close to a cultist is you. Because you've done rituals, you've done all sorts of evil shit, you've manipulated. You could blame it on the drugs all you want, but here's the thing. You've been the only person in control of your drug problem. You went to jail multiple times, and you still went back to drugs afterward. Hell, even when you went to jail for about a month, you told me this. You were off cigarettes. I personally classify cigarettes a drug, with how severe the addiction is. You were off cigarettes, completely. You saw a guy smoking a cigarette literally the second you got out of jail. What'd you do? Hey, can I have one? It's completely up to you what you do with your life. And you just up and going back to drugs as if it's like, oh, just a whoop-de-doo thing. Oh, cool, I'm back on drugs again. You cannot be blaming anyone but yourself for the problems you've gotten yourself into. We've tried to help you. We've tried to help you many upon many times. We've told you to go get help. Who hasn't done that? Who has said they would go get help and then refused to do so? You. That is on completely you, and you can't blame us for the shit you've gotten your life into. That is not on us, that is on yourself, and you could keep staying in denial for as long as you want about that. Like, I can somewhat admire the fact that you're kind of taking responsibility, if not for the fact that you were still trying to pin us for your mistakes. We moved away from you because you were insane. Because you stole Mom's gun. And chances are, after that whole case ends up dying, Mom's gonna have to go all the way back just to get her gun back, if she can, because of your vandalism. So, I'll be honest, dude, you can't blame us for shit. That's all on you. That is completely on you. Like, the way you said it, you acted as if Mom just handed you the handgun and said, oh, go nuts. When that's not what happened. I can remember it. I remember when you stole the bitch. I didn't witness it directly, but I can remember distinctly when it happened because there was only one time you could have done it. I was hanging out outside, or around the inside of the house area. All I know is I saw you go into the back room. You were in there for a couple minutes. You tried to disguise it as you were just going to the bathroom. Hell, you could have gone to the bathroom. However, that was the only time Mom wasn't there, and you could have had a possible chance to steal it. Mom was not home. You just came in, went to the bathroom, and yoinked that shit. And I'm quite confident that was the time, too. Because there is no other time you could have possibly taken it. Because if Mom wasn't home, then how the hell is that on her? How could she have possibly stopped you? You're acting as if it's like, oh, she handed it right to me. She was right there. No, the fuck she wasn't. She wasn't home. You took her gun. You got arrested with it on you. And that is not on her. Just because it was, like, in your possession, like, that does not make it her fault. Not at all. You went in, yoinked the gun while she wasn't even home. And yet you're trying to blame us for it? You gotta realize that your own actions have consequences. You do shit, that's gonna end up getting yourself into shit, and no matter what you do, Steven, that's completely on you. Not to mention, you're trying to call Amber stupid when she was the, victim. She was the victim behind this. And, like, you could also say, good luck trying to pin me for... Good luck trying to pin me from molesting her. I didn't even fuck her. We have messages indicating that you did hella similar, and a courting. And, like, that's still a severe sexual assault of a minor. Who the hell cares if it's not that specific charge in particular? Severe sexual assault of a minor is still statutory, and Actually, no, that's not statutory rape, because according to what I've heard, plus not to mention, apparently, according to what I heard, and was literally told to me years ago, you got very close, buddy. Your pecker was right nearby. You were very close. You were very fucking close. So it was that close, buddy. You could have easily just became a rapist right then and there. The one smart decision you did. However, doesn't make you any smarter because you still did it. That's the problem. You still fucking did it. You still sexually assaulted a minor, and that's on you. And the best part about Utah is that there is no statute of limitations for sex crimes in Utah. So this lawsuit is completely valid. Not to mention the defamation. So, you could keep going on about what, like, all you want, but you could keep trying to blame us, but we're not going down with you despite what you want to believe. You're the only one that's going down. You could keep lying and saying, I tell nothing but the truth. I am pure boy. I am completely innocent. I am... Yeah, no, we're not going down with you. It's only you're taking yourself with you, and honestly, Val's probably going down with you too, because she keeps defending you. And we already know she's the one who's even been supplying you this knowledge. So, she's the only person that I feel like is going to go down with you. And at least we can officially say our lives are better than yours by a long shot. We've got a nice place out here, we're chilling, we're enjoying our lives. Hell, I just had an amazing burger just like 10-20 minutes ago. Amazing. What'd you have for dinner today, sir? Personally, like, you can go on and on about how you're innocent, you're pitiful me, but we over here know what you are, and we have the proof to back that up. So, you can go on about how you're innocent in this situation, or if you're not, you're, like, you're saying, oh, I'll own up to my shit. You aren't owning up to shit, you're still blaming everyone. Like, saying you did it isn't owning up. Owning up to your shit is apologizing, being honest. You haven't once said, I'm sorry to Amber. And if you have, it was so, like, I think you did say, I'm sorry once. Once. And it, according to what I remember, it felt forced. So go on, continue saying, oh, I'm innocent, but you're not innocent. You've never been innocent. You're a fucking sexual assaulter of a minor, and we have the proof to back this up. So, go on, keep spouting your bullshit, keep going on, but I pray you repent for your sins, but knowing you, considering you've committed the unforgivable sin already, I'm quite confident that's not going to happen unless of a miracle. And fuck, Jesus is a miracle worker. I sure do hope he performs that miracle. Jesus is the only person who could fix you now. You need a wake-up call, man. I held out hope for you for years. That's why I was always so easily manipulated. I always held out hope for you. When everyone else was completely down on their hope, they didn't care about you. I held out hope. I prayed that you would change. I was so hoping that you would change. Hell, that's one of the main reasons I was so easily manipulatable. I was so hellbent on you changing that I thought if I was able to get close to you, I could help you change. There was no helping you. I tried my best. You didn't do shit to accept that help. So no matter how or what happens, you've gotten to a point to where at this point, like, shit, I'm not sure anymore. You've been You've gotten to a point where you're unsavable. You've committed the unforgivable sin, and it is what it is now. I could just hope that Jesus gives you a miracle. But just quit putting our family name under the gutter as cultists or whatever the fuck that bullshit is. When you're the only person in our family, well, was in our family. You could also continue to say that you disowned us all you want, but you really didn't. Mr. I owe Mom over $10,000 and refused to pay that back. Hell, I'm pretty sure I even gave you money at one point. I didn't get that back. I didn't give you much. Zach gave you money, and yet you say we weren't supportive of you? Like, we gave you, like, Mom gave you money, Zach gave you money. At one point, I think I even gave you fucking money. And I don't even have much. I didn't even have a job. I didn't even have an allowance. I still managed to give you money. Mom paid me back, obviously, because she knew what you were doing, so I guess that's just more to Moms. But, yeah, no, go on, continue blaming us for your problems. It's not gonna get you anywhere in life. And considering you're only in your late 20s, you're about a quarter through your life and you're already fucking it over, so, you could say your life isn't ruined, but you could say that all you want, but you're only saying that because you're used to being a convicted felon. Your life was ruined the second you became a convicted felon, and all of this stuff definitely isn't helping your record. And that sexual assault will be on your record soon, I could promise you that. We have very high confidence. So, yeah, continue spouting all your nonsense, but we didn't do shit to cause you. It was your father that did. You could continue blaming us for your father's misdoings, but that's not on us. That's completely on him. That's on you for where your life has gotten to. And yeah, another thing. You say I did all this shit. I did crimes to escape the cult behavior. How does that make sense exactly? Who goes and commits crimes, breaks into people's houses, even thinks about murdering someone in that house you broke into, terrorizing the entire fucking neighborhood, and then decides, you know what, I'm gonna go commit crimes because I feel bad about my life? That's kinda sad, man. That's kinda sad. Honestly, Mom didn't raise you to be that way, and you know it. It was your dad. And you refuse to admit that it was your dad. Sure, sometimes she doesn't like us to go outside, but you gotta also realize that zip code was one of the most, if not the most, pedophile-infested zip code in the entirety of Utah. What the fuck were we supposed to do? Oh, just go on, play outside, risk getting scooped up by a pedophile. Risk getting scooped up by you, Mr. Pedophile Man. We weren't just about to risk that. I mean, shit, the reason I'm able to be outside is because this neighborhood's actually safer. That's why I'm outside right fucking now. I'm chilling. That's why we've been able to go on walks around the block. God damn, what is that? We've been able to go on walks around the block. We've been chilling. We've been completely chilling. Hell, I've even got my ID. I got the one thing I was looking forward to. Now I'm on a job search. So, you could continue saying that Mom doesn't give you freedom. Of course she didn't give you freedom. We had a pedophile-infested zip code, and chances are, like, you even got more freedom than we did back then, because you actually got to go outside. You got to roam the streets. You got to do whatever you want. Now, back before we moved, we had no choice but to stay inside, and I understood that. I was a bit upset about it for obvious reasons, because that's kind of the best part about being a kid, but at the same time, it was reasonable protectivity. Our zip code was infested with pedophiles, our sperm donors were out to get us, There were a lot of reasons not to be able to go outside. You just can't understand that. The whole yard code, the stranger danger bullshit, that doesn't really work if you're a child fight face to face with a fucking kidnapper, pedophile, sperm donor. If he's too close, you can't get inside in time. It's too hard of a risk to take. So, yeah, as I've said a couple times already, you could keep spouting your nonsense and you could keep spouting your bullshit, but you of all people know that's not how it's gonna go, and you of all people know, like, consequences. Did I nearly just say consequences have actions? Actions have consequences. You should know this. Honestly, I'm shocked you haven't gotten them already, but you will soon. I promise you that. You'll get them soon.